Well, hello, everybody. It is Mike Hill and
Casey Harding.
with Money Matters. Mike Hill and Casey at Hill Financial Group. This is our podcast in the 30s. You'd think I would look at what number we're on whenever we do this.
30 something.
30 something. We are in the conference room here of Hill Financial Group right here in Midlothian. Now, we wanted to change up locations a little bit just to, I don't know, I kind of like it. Got our logo on the back. We're definitely, narcissistic here. We put our name on everything. So anyway, but today we wanted to talk about a couple of things. Everybody talks about money and this is Money Matters. But I always just try to tell people that money is a tool. That's all it is. It's how you use that tool. It could be used in many different ways. It could be used to influence others. It could be used to invest, have a retirement. It could be used to leave a legacy to kids. So I mean, it's a tool that could be used for sometimes not so good things and sometimes
Great things.
Great things,
like being generous.
Yeah. So today, I talk about gratitude and generosity. That's one of the things that I try to practice is whenever you're upset with somebody or whenever you're not feeling real great, always be grateful. Be grateful for that person. Be grateful for what God has given you. And if you have an attitude like that, it's kind of hard to stay upset. I know I got a little off subject there, but gratitude and generosity. So today we're going to kind of talk about tying the message to Thanksgiving. It's connecting emotionally with sometimes you have that uncle that thank God you only see once a year, but sometimes we only get to see our family as I get older. My girls are in their 20s and I know once they have their husbands eventually and all that, I'm going to see them less and less. So
sure,
it's definitely a way of, as you start thinking about it and you're around that Thanksgiving table, what are things that I could do to bless others that mean so much to me? So as we gather around, it's a great time to pause and reflect. Casey, what really is retirement all about to you? I mean, what is something that you would tell clients that are about to meet for Thanksgiving, since this is our holiday, Thanksgiving?
Well, I mean, we work very hard to, try to save and do the right things when we're working. But once we retire, it's about enjoying kind of the fruits and the benefits of hopefully that hard work. But also just getting around the table and freedom to enjoy time with the family. And to, give back and to just live with a heart of gratitude and thankfulness.
Hey, the wife.
Well, sure. Keep the wild turkey in the cabinet.
We want to also take this time to thank our clients, thank our friends, thank our listeners. Share, like, keep commenting. We every week our podcast subscriptions go up, so maybe we're hitting upon something that people like. But either way, or they just want to see that big idiot Mike Hill talking on air for a little bit.
Right.
Have Casey had up with me. But no, we're really thankful this time of year. Also wanted to mention Toys for Tots. We are a Toys for drop-off location. Last year, our office was #1 in Ellis County.
Yeah, amazing.
We are competitive. We want to be #1 again this year. So please, if you see this, we're more than happy to get more boxes. We'll find a place to put them. We want to be the Toys for Tots drop-off location for Midlothian. So anyway, so keep it up. Thank you for all our clients and friends that have been doing that over the years.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about what money can't buy. The old can't buy me love, which, very prophetic. The one thing, redefining wealth in retirement. What does wealth mean to you? I will say this, and it's a little home this time of year. And I want to talk about what money doesn't buy everything. And what I mean by that is I had a client one time. He was a pretty prominent attorney in Dallas. Great guy. I enjoyed him very much, but he was really closed off to a lot of people and he worked so much. So he had the big house. He actually had a Lamborghini. I remember seeing that. All the things. And he kind of lived that life of fast and just work hard, shit hard. And I bring this up not to make the thing sad, but he passed away. He had brain cancer. He passed away. And when I went to the funeral, there's maybe 15 people there. And 10 of them were people that he worked with.
Yeah.
And I was just taken aback at, you had all this time, you had all this energy, and then eventually all this wealth. And I'm not saying that's a true judge of a person, it's how many people they have at a funeral, but it's very telling that he, living that kind of life and that fast and furious life isn't what it's all about. So having gratitude in retirement is something that I definitely want to touch upon. Focus on your health, focus on your relationships while you're here. We are never promised tomorrow. And experiences.
Yeah.
I think the best use of money when you're retired is, if you're not somebody that likes to travel, do a weekend trip in the car down to Fredericksburg, go to Big Bend, do things that are experiences with the grandkids. Go to all the grandkids softball, t-ball, soccer games. Be involved, because they will remember that more than any gift that you give them come Christmas.
No, a lot of times it's just about the time spent with the people that you love and the building into those relationships, and not the money that you spend on them.
Yeah.
So
what is something, because your parents, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Your parents, they haven't met them. They're great. They're one of those you're like, man, I wish, sorry.
I want to grow up and be like,
Yes. They're one of the greatest couples I've ever met. They're just very, very, you could just see it in everything they do. What would you say would be their advice to somebody that's having kids and grandkids, and what's most important to them? Because I know they are both retired. I know they are drawing money out of retirement.
Sure.
accounts, but what would you say, coming, not to speak for your dad and your mom, but
No, I mean, I think, that they would say what I was just trying to say, was just spending time with your kids and being at the, Eloise just started softball. And so they're at every softball game, and getting to see that. And anytime they can have all three of us boys, in their house again, they love that. Like they would much prefer that than, or like if we go on a vacation, like we want everyone to go, so it's just kind of, having that quality time together over, just the gifts or anything that they'd buy us for Christmas or, birthdays or whatever. Yeah.
And Casey, I'm putting you on the spot again, but here in this office, something, and if you've seen, we do the days out where we had the game shape. I still think we got rooked. We shouldn't.
We did.
But we do some fun things. I am a big believer, and I hope Casey feels the same way, in a work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
I was guilty of it in my 20s and 30s of working 55, 60 hours a week. Yes, I even coached the kids in their sports, but man, if it wasn't work or doing football or basketball or something like that with the girls, it was sleep. That was it. And you look up and you love the girls and you love all the time that y'all spent doing sports and all the things. But I would have much rather spent less time at the office than I did. So I think work-life balance. Could you give me what you mean, what that means to you?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think when you get home that you can actually, put down like thinking about work, like that you're actually able to set it aside and engage with your wife and your kids, and that it, like when the door closes or the garage door goes down, like you're actually able to put it down and not think about it, not be tied to your phone or your email. Like, and I feel like, I have seasons where I probably don't do that as well, and seasons where I do it better. But I think it really is just feeling, the flexibility and the freedom to go, that can wait, and I can just engage with my kids, So,
well, and I think during retirement, how you could do that is to be thankful for is we get the clients that look at CNBC every day.
No, for sure.
And great when it's up, or great when the market being up 2,000 points or being down 2,000 points is not going to affect your income if you have it invested correctly. So I guess what I say to that is your focus always being on these little dots on the screen.
Yeah.
I hope that's not your focus during retirement. You should not be looking at your phone every day to see what the market did to tell your wife, hey, we can't go on that trip now. We can't go on that trip. We should go see the grandkids. Think about what you're most thankful for this time of year. I know that's a cliche, but I definitely, how does that align with your financial goals? This is the time of year that if you're going to start gifting, maybe you do it at the end of the year to help you out with some tax consequences. If you're going to give to charity, we've talked about this before, have your R&B go directly, require minimum distribution, if you don't know what that means, out of IRAs, go directly to your charity. So the charity gets a little bit more money than they do after you pay the taxes on it. But those are the things. What can your money do that best aligns with your ethics, your morals, and just your faith, for lack of a better word. So one of the things that has on here, Casey, if you would, one of the tips that we had, if you could tell listeners what the tip we have there.
So make a gratitude list, like all the things this year that you're thankful for that have, that have happened or help clarify like what truly deserves your time and resources. So, make that gratitude list, put it before you, put it, on your desk or, where you eat breakfast in the morning, whatever that looks like. And just be reminded that, life is not about the numbers in your, bank account or retirement account, but the people that you get to spend time with.
Well, and yes, gratitude list. Y'all know me. We every year in the office we do a goals list. Maybe we'll talk about that next month. But I even do pictures of it, so I look at it every day and try to hit those goals. But a gratitude list is, sorry about the microphone, very, very important. It is something that just makes you realize, in those times maybe where you may have a bad day, look at all the things that I get to be grateful for.
Yeah.
It's an old quote. I think it's by Eddie Vedder, one of my favorite singers of Pearl Jam, talks about if you have more friends on your list, if you have more friends than you do fingers on your hand, you're doing something well.
Yeah.
And I believe in that. I think that's absolutely it. Not that money buys friends, but
No.
I do want to talk about the actual joy of gift giving. I know this sounds a little hokey, but I could tell you and explore it yourself. There honestly be, in my opinion, and this is what I don't mean to get existential here, but this may be a little bit different than a Money Matters podcast. There honestly shouldn't be anything that feels good about giving. Yeah. Think about it. When we go to work, we make this money, we do all the things. Why do we work so hard? Why do we try to do this? To keep it, to invest it, to all the things. So why is there an innate good feeling about giving? That comes from a different place. We're both believers.
Yeah.
I just think, why does giving feel so good? Why did the Grinch find out that it wasn't about all the stuff? It was actually about the spirit of Christmas that made it feel so good. So generosity doesn't always mean writing a check. Volunteer your time. Mentoring. We've both done Mentors Cares.
Here locally, yeah.
And it's a great program. If you don't know about it, look into it. They do great things with the kids over here in Midlothian. And then just spending intentional time. Spend intentional time. Doesn't mean you have to spend money. Doesn't have to go on these expensive places. Doesn't mean you have to go to these expensive restaurants.
Yeah.
Be intentional. What are some things that you could do if you are giving financially?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the way that you aren't captured or kind of, held back by, the money in your accounts is being open-handed with it, letting that go and being willing to give generously to organizations or your church or whatever that might be, for you allows you just to live, with a more generous and thankful heart and, living open-handed. I think it's just sets you free from the power of what money could corrupt you, toward.
If you do get into one of those places where you want to have a goal of giving 150,000 to a church or something like that. One of the things that I've used in the past, not very often, but is those donor advised funds, donor advised for structured giving, where you put in 100,000, you get to take the interest off of it. And then the principal every year, you could set it up for 10,000 a year, whatever it goes to an institution. Another thing that you could do is a long-term goal is, let's say I want to leave 300,000 to my church. Well, what you could do is get a life insurance policy on yourself and make the church the beneficiary. Sure. So that way you're not having to write a check for 300,000. You die, and then hopefully the church at least lets you have the funeral at your place that you get them anyway. Not to make fun, but the life insurance is a good way to give to a charity or even to your loved ones, and it's a cheaper way to do it. I'm going to step down to our last talking family conversation at the table. Normally, that is a time we talked about that in one of our podcasts. Thanksgiving, maybe you do it a couple of 30 minutes before. You talk about beneficiaries. You talk about this is what I want to happen to my money when I pass. But that's a perfect time. Yeah. Multi-generations. That's even a time to ask grandma, grandpa, if you had to do it all over again.
Right.
What would you do? I would buy Apple. I get all that. I get that. What would you have done differently? Tell me what you would, and I promise you it wasn't, I wish I was at work.
Right.
So talk to the older generations, talk to what's on their heart. That is your lineage. Talk about ways that maybe you can still help them achieve that if that's one of the things you want to do for them. So what are some things that you could do during this time of year with family, Casey, as far as a conversation at the Thanksgiving table?
Yeah, I think it's just sharing, sharing the things that are most important to you about your kids and what you see in them and hopefully the good things that you see in them and how they've grown up and just speaking that identity, if you will, into your kids.
What do you do when you get somebody that goes, well, it's really hard to talk to my dad about money?
Yeah.
What would be your advice?
I think it is something you have to kind of know the person, kind of like what are going to be kind of those gateways to open that conversation with them. And so whatever that looks like, but I think it's just being honest and going, hey, mom, dad, like, I really want to respect, what you have done and for us and what you worked hard for. And like, how can I like help you make sure that your desires are done when that day comes, and it's hard to talk about, but I think if you can just, and if they're closed off to it the first time, you just every once in a while, just, every couple of years, maybe bring it up again, and just let them know that you care about, what's important to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think going forward is definitely when you're meeting with family and friends, and I think this is the time of year we all tend to have a little bit more charitable heart. This is the time of year that we have a little bit more giving on our mind. But I think it's also a time to get stories. Dad, write down your favorite stories. I would love to have something happen to you. I'd love to know how it was, during the years that you were in the service. I'd love to know how it was when you were courting mom. Let's write this down and record it. Those are things that you could give. That doesn't have to be money that you could give to your own family and vice versa.
For sure.
We wanted to do a quick one. We just wanted to talk about gifting.
Yeah.
Any closing comments you want to say this Thanksgiving?
No, I think we're in for, good end of the year and ready just to spend time with family.
Absolutely. I think, and as from all of us at the Hill Financial Group, we want to wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving and great holiday. Yeah. Enjoy this time. Casey's words, watch out for the wild turkey. Let's keep that up, but enjoy the pumpkin pie and everything that comes with it. We're very happy and blessed to be able to help those in the community, and we would love to be able to help you. Hopefully you found these podcasts helpful. If not, you can leave those comments, but be nice. Leave any comments. We're good for those. But like, share, all the things. We appreciate it. This is Mike Hill and
Casey Arning
with Money Matters with Hill Financial Group. Have a great day.
Awesome.